Okay. Welcome, everyone. If you will join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll begin the meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, good evening. It's nice to see so many students here this evening. We are pleased to recognize this exceptional group of Parkway students who earned All-State Music honors during the All-State Festival concert at the Missouri Music Educators Association Conference and All-State Theater students. I would like to invite Jeff Lackey, Coordinator of Fine Arts, to the podium to recognize our students.
Good evening, President Jeff Todd, Vice President Debbie Hopper, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Schneider, Ms. Stover, and all others present this evening. I am here tonight to recognize two important student groups, music and theater all-state students. First, I want to recognize 35 extraordinarily talented and dedicated Parkway High School musicians who were selected for the 2026 Missouri All-State Band, Jazz Band, Choir, and Orchestra. These students earned spots in these prestigious ensembles through a highly competitive audition process. To even be considered, they first had to be selected for their local ensembles. From there, they auditioned to the state level, demonstrating their technical skills, musicality, and artistry that set them above all other students for the exact same seats. The all-state ensembles performed on January 31st at the Missouri Music Educators Conference before an appreciative audience of music educators, administrators, and families. These performances were a celebration of the students' hard work, talent, and commitment to artistic excellence. I'd like to take a moment to thank their music educators who inspired, coached, and challenged these students on their journey. Your dedication to the foundation of their success. I'd also like to recognize their parents, families who have supported and encouraged them along the way, every step of the way. At this time, I'm honored to introduce this year's All-State Music students. As I call your name, please join us in the front to be greeted by the Board of Education and Superintendent. As a note, many of these students have demanding schedules and various performing arts commitments. While some could not be with us tonight, we want to ensure that their achievements are officially recognized. So beginning with our All-State Band students. In alphabetical order, we have Kane Avalone from South High Trumpet, Zach Card, West High Tuba, Ethan Denny, North High Clarinet, TJ Pollock, West High Alto Saxophone, Kara Purdy, West High Oboe, Baskara Wahana, West High Clarinet, Kate Beck, we're going into honorable mentions and alternates. So Kate Beck, West High Clarinet, honorable mention. Bethany Liao, West High Percussion, alternate. Mason Friend, West High Baritone Saxophone, honorable mention. Our second ensemble for All-State is our All-State Jazz Band. We had two students in that, and that is Zach Bonnet, Central High second tenor, and Cole Kaira, West High Trumpet, alternate. For our third ensemble, we have All-State Choir students. We have Kiara Anderson Pittman from Central High Alto, Alex Franklin, South High Tenor, Logan Huff, South High Bass, and Donovan Morton Macklin, Central High Bass. Our alternates and honorable mentions for All-State Choir were Delaney Karen, North High Soprano, honorable mention. Krishiv Gudipati, West High Bass, honorable mention. Molly Sandford, South High Alto, alternate. Preston Wehrmeister, West High bass, honorable mention. All-state orchestra students, we had Aiden Moon, Central High Violin 1. Ian Chung, West High Violin 1. Hannah Lee, Central High Violin 1. Isabel Lau, Central High Violin 2. Lyric Green, Central High Bass. Chen Peng, South High Viola. Joy Shin, West High Viola. Karis Xing, West High Violin 1. And Kyler Wang, West High Violin 2. We also had honorable mentions for our all-state orchestra, and they were Theo Branch, West High Viola. Ian Cho, West High Cello. Eileen Hinners, Central High Cello. Evelyn Monzik, Central High Violin. Aditya Kadavkar, Central High Viola. Nick Kim, Central High Cello. And Alicia Yeen, West High Violin. Before we conclude the music portion, I would also like to acknowledge the music teachers of these students who are here tonight by having them stand to be recognized. Thank you for your incredible dedication, and once again, congratulations to our 2026 Parkway All-State Music students. So also tonight, I get to recognize I have the privilege of celebrating a pinnacle artistic achievement within our district. The Missouri All-State Show is essentially the all-state team of high school theater. Each year, Missouri Thespian Organization conducts a rigorous and highly competitive selection process. Hundreds of the most talented students from across the state audition, interview, and present portfolios for coveted spots in this production. As any theater teacher will tell you, it takes a village to build a world of a play. That is why we're so thrilled that our students were selected for not just their talents in the spotlight, but for their expertise behind the scenes. Tonight, we're honoring both the incredible cast members who will bring the story to life on stage and the dedicated crew members whose technical mastery makes it all the magic possible. These students have poured countless hours into perfecting their craft. Being selected is a massive achievement and a testament to their hard work, the unwavering support of their families, and the dedication of the district theater teachers. I am incredibly proud to announce that 9 of our high school students were chosen at the annual Missouri Thespian Conference this year to represent the next year's all-state production. At this time, I would like to call these remarkable students forward to be recognized. And as with our musicians, some of these thespians had prior commitments and rehearsals to attend this evening, but we're proud to celebrate all of them tonight. As I call your name, please join the front to be greeted by the Board of Education and Superintendent. We'll do this by high school. So Central High, we had 2 students, and that's Allison Henroy, the All-State crew, and Ashley Volareal, All-State crew. From South High, we had Finley Moore, All-State cast, Anna MD, All-State crew, Elena Harris, All-State crew, Lila Tran, All-State crew, and from West High, we had Bode Cunningham, All-State cast, or Bodie Cunningham, Tate McKenna, All-State cast, and Britton O'Brien, All-State crew. I'd also like to acknowledge any theater teachers that might be here tonight and thank them for their dedication and hard work. Again, congratulations to all of our 2026 All-State students for music and theater.
Yes, thank you indeed, and congratulations to our students, and thank you for family and friends and our Parkway staff for being here this evening. You all should be very proud. At this time, we will take a brief recess and we'll resume the meeting shortly. Okay, are we ready to resume? Uh, Next up is 7.0, additions, corrections, and modifications to the agenda. Those include the following. 7.01, addition of agenda item 11.30, approval of adoption of policy IGBH and retirement of policy IHBCE. 7.02, moved agenda item 11.07, resolution to reset 2026 tax rate levy to an individual action item. 7.03, addendums to agenda item 11.06, approval of personnel items. 7.04, update to agenda item 11.22, approval of fine arts choral risers. 7.05, addition of agenda item 11.31, approval of Mason Ridge Ramsey Center roof trusses change order. Next up is citizen statement period, and we only have one of those tonight, and it is Mr. Wayne Hartman. So Wayne, the podium is yours.
The very first thing this body does is stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. Why? Take 5 minutes and look up our 40th President, Ronald Reagan's inaugural address, January 20, 1981. It's less than 4 minutes long. Watch and listen to that video and you'll see why these meetings start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We are Americans. Parkway South told Channel 4 News that the school supports students' right to protest, not what I read from the district, but that will go down as an unexcused absence. What? No harm, no foul? You see, you want to stop this. All students 5-day suspension on permanent record, along with total termination of extracurricular activities. No sports, band, clubs, whatever for the rest of the school year. If this is not met with force, any future funding, this district should be met with a big no-no. This should not be a slap on the wrist. Who is running the asylum? Do you see that security officer standing back there? I have never seen him sit. Why? If someone came through that door with a firearm pointed, no question, he would take him out. He is our security net, and I thank him for that. He is our own ICE police. Take all these students and teachers that participated and thought that was a good idea, put them all in a gym and let 1,000 illegals have at them. After all, aren't they all friendly? I had created a special flag for the Parkway South Patriots. Was I wrong? These flags have special meaning when they're created, and wherever these flags end up, those people and those organizations are the most deserving of them, or I thought. Some of the alumni patriots of Parkway South, after graduating, pursued a life in the military, and some of them never made it back home. These students and teachers spit in their faces without a thought. They spit on their memory. Now, should this now be the Parkway South Mickey Mouse fan club? These students and teachers opened up a box they cannot see the bottom, and this is just the beginning. A freshman at Parkway South High School was quoted in the Post saying, "I think America is built on immigrants, and we shouldn't punish immigrants for being here." I'll give you one stat here. America leaves in 750,000 legal immigrants every year and has done so for the last 25 years. You do the math. I'll leave you with this thought. America has opened up its student visas, and a group of them came in to learn how to fly planes. Then those immigrant students hijacked those planes and flew them right into our buildings. And when the passengers on the fourth plane had heard what had happened, they knew they were going to die, but they died their way. They fought back. If you ever get a chance to walk the grounds of Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, you will be touched and you will feel those souls. So that Parkway South freshman student knows nothing, absolutely zero. Protest? Right. Keep telling yourself that. It's ironic that that freshman was born in the year of the 10th anniversary of 9/11. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is the approval of tonight's agenda. May I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda for the regular meeting of the Board of Education as scheduled for February 18th, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next up is our calendar of meetings. The next regular board meeting will take place on Wednesday, March 11th, beginning at 7 p.m. here at the Parkway Welcome Center. Next up is board and superintendent reports. Matt? you wanna
Sure.
get us started?
I get my time on the board. I've actually been blessed to have a few times where my work actually crosses over with my Parkway job. So today I had the opportunity. I'm now with JFS St. Louis. We have a child abuse prevention program. So I was at Carmen Trails in a third grade class. I got to see some of my staff present on internet safety, and I was very enthused to see the kids raising their hands, having a good grasp of what needs to happen when certain things happen on the internet, and when they need to go to adults and how they need to keep their own privacy. And it was just really fun to see that Parkway not only does a lot for the kids themselves with our staff, but we're actually partnering with other nonprofits and other organizations in the region to really enhance our education for our kids, not just with the math, the English, arithmetic, and so forth, but also with other things in life to help build them up and give them skills that they really need right now and into the future.
It's been a busy month. I thank all of you that were able to attend the State of the District earlier in the month. I know, since it started, since I've been here on the board, it's always great to see the data and hear the conversations. And thank you to all who helped put that together. We also had a PNEA communications lab where we were able to talk with our union as well as administrators on how things are going. On a personal level, at Green Trails, we had our passport night, which is our multicultural night. It's always one of my favorite times of the year to be at the school and kind of learn a lot about the different countries, taste the cuisine. We had a wonderful martial arts exposition or exhibition that was highly attended, and the kids loved it. I was also able to go to the 4th grade strings concert, both as a board member and as a parent. I got to watch my 4th grader play the cello. It was great to see. And then last couple of days ago, I had the fortune of meeting with a few kids in the Spark program to talk about kind of next steps for their businesses that they're entering into. There's one that's doing mobile auto detailing, another that is wanting to create a new textile with acne applications. Another person is designing a backpack that is better suited for trade shows. It's pretty amazing. I was thinking about when I was in high school how there's no way I would have been a part of this program. I wasn't smart enough. These kids are amazing. And so the questions that they asked about how to improve their business and what they need to do really was just eye-opening. And it's truly an amazing program. And I was just happy to be there.
Makes you second guess your life choices.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, every day.
Right.
Every day.
So I also on the personal side was able to was also at the 4th grade strings day. I have a 4th grader who switched over to cello, and Mr. Spector did a fantastic job of opening that. But since that's kind of the theme of tonight, I'm just so proud to be there to see my son playing, but also just proud of what Parkway does for the fine arts. We really got a demonstration of that tonight with all the kids. So I think that's something that just proud that the district does so much for that. In terms of more of the business side, so we had, since our last meeting, had a steering committee meeting covering budget issues, facilities. We've got one next week actually coming up. I also agree State of District was very well done, and thanks to everybody who did the putting that together to make it a great night. And for anybody listening at home, encourage you to use the link to provide your thoughts, take the survey questions, so we can get that information. And then I also, we did have the communications lab with PNEA. It was my first one. I thought it was very productive and learned a lot from that.
So I'm just going to touch on one thing. I also was in attendance at the State of the District and PNEA Communications Lab, but I also had an opportunity to read at Henry Elementary's Community Read-In Day. That was a couple of Fridays ago, and I read to Mrs. O'Connor's 3rd grade class. So this is a shout out to the 3rd grade at Henry Elementary. Thank you for having me. It was a really great time. I didn't spend a lot of time there, but it's such a good group of kids. They all were able to ask questions to find out a little bit more about me, and their questions were so wonderful, so inquisitive. Some of the questions I wouldn't have thought of at that age, but I really enjoyed myself. The book that I read that day was My Brain is Magic, and it was a wonderful book that I will probably pass on to some of my nieces and nephews.
Thank you. The problem with going fifth is you kind of just start repeating everything everyone said before you. But yes, I attended a lot of the same events, the State of the District, the PNEA, Communications Lab. In my role here, between those events, I've heard the budget presentation several times now. Carrie's done a great job of presenting it, and the State of the District, I thought it was a nice opportunity to kind of we're all in this together, and the people that came to the meeting understand sort of the challenges we're facing, and then the decisions that we're making, and the sort of roadmap we're on. And I thought both of those two events kind of drove that point home to me of the coming together to tackle a problem, which I think we're doing a fine job of. As far as the personal stuff, like what they said with my family this month, I've got a 5th grader and an 8th grader, which means they're both going to be in new buildings next year. And I think tomorrow night we go to Parkway North. My son's kind of his tour of the school, and my daughter went to Northeast Middle a few weeks ago. And these kids, it's a big jump. When you go from being in elementary school to a middle schooler to a high schooler. And I'm really proud of the way our district kind of helps those transitions. Helps not just the kids adjust, because believe me, they're not the only ones that are kind of feeling the change in life. The parents need it too, and I think we do a good job with that.
Thank you. Yeah, lots of meetings lately with budget, strategic planning, facilities planning, so lots of activity taking place in those arenas. But I really need to acknowledge the loss that Parkway has had recently with a number, of course, people may know about the recent loss we had from the Central community with the young lady over the weekend, and her friend who's still in the hospital. But beyond that, that's in the Central region. We've lost a student in the South area, a freshman, and before that, around winter break, we lost a student from Northeast Middle School. We've also lost some retired employees, and we've lost parents. So it's with a heavy heart that, we love our community, and we just at these times need to extend condolences to all who are grieving and pray that they will seek some peace and rest in due time. But for the time being, our hearts and minds are with them.
And I'll echo, it's been a busy month, and there've been a lot of different meetings and things that we've been at as a board, either with facilities planning or our teachers, and those have been all very productive meetings and very positive ones. So we've been thankful for that. I will highlight a couple of things. Already mentioned that I participated in the second of the 2 4th grade strings. We do this all district thing, which is great, but it's so big because we have so many kids in the strings program that we have to split it into 2. So you guys took the first 2. Dr. Schneider and I were at the second one, and our kids did a fantastic job. I could have sat down and played right along with them with some of those songs. I remember them from my years. And then also Tiffany and I was also at Henry and read to Mrs. Fisher's class and Mrs. Kramer's class, both 2nd grade classrooms, and the kids were hilarious and amazing all at the same time. They had great conversations. I read a book called Quiet Please, Owen McPhee, and it was a very entertaining and thought-provoking book, and we had a great discussion about it afterwards. And that was the day that the Olympics opening ceremony was, and so some of the kids really wanted to talk about the Olympics, and so we talked about the Olympics too. And it was just a great day to be with kids.
Absolutely. I'll piggyback off of that. So I also read at Henry Elementary, and I'll be reading at a couple of more schools coming up. My book was called Just Ask, and I read to a 5th grade classroom. So it was a little bit of a throwback for me. I taught 5th grade. I really was excited to see 5th graders again. And it was a book about abilities and disabilities and learning more about folks just by asking them. And the kids really got into it. We had stopped and had some conversations in between pages. I've also spent a fair amount of my time at visiting some fine arts and music events, more so than athletic this past month. But the South High Musical, I visited that last Friday night, and that was quite a show. It was very entertaining. The kids did a fantastic job. The orchestra playing backup for them, and the singers and the acting. It was very, very engaging. Well attended too. I was able to go to West and North High regional art shows just in the past week or so. And I also want to comment on State of the District as well. So if anybody watching has not also watched a video from State of the District, they are out there, and there is a great presentation on our budget as well. I just want to piggyback off of that. We played The Price is Right at State of the District, so hopefully that sparks your curiosity and you can learn a little bit more about what I'm talking about by watching that. I traveled down to Lake of the Ozarks to see our students sing. The Central High School Jazz Choir was invited, a very prestigious invitation to perform at MMEA, and they did a fantastic job. Oh, they just absolutely did amazing. It was great to see them. I made it to West High for a girls' varsity basketball game. It was my first basketball game here at Parkway. It was great to see the girls play. And right now it's a busy time, keeping track of legislative actions and updates and keeping our eyes on those things. So I've been busy keeping track of those things too.
I mentioned this last month. I'll just touch on it briefly. The 3 open seats for the Parkway Board of Education were myself, Mrs. Hopper, and Ms. Matt Franklin. No one besides the 3 of us filed for those open seats, so therefore there will be no official item on the ballot this April, and we will be re-sworn in for additional 3-year term. Next up is our consent agenda. We've all had an opportunity to review that. So may I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented in the February 18th, 2026 board material?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? I'm sorry, is there anything to be pulled to action before closed? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. Next up, we have one individual action item, and I will invite Ms. Carrie Nunn to come to the podium for a presentation.
Got a new clicker. Guys, we got a new clicker. This
new
stumps me every single month. I'm just saying, this is exciting. Good evening. Tonight we are going to talk about our voluntary rollback that we have in place on our residential rate. This was set in place for the 2024 tax year. Voluntary rollbacks, when they are put in place, cannot be removed until another non-assessment year comes up. So 2026 is a non-assessment year. So I'm asking the board, or proposing to the board, to reset the residential tax rate, which is to just reset that voluntary rollback, and then that way it would be part of consideration for the 2026 tax rate residential calculation. The current rollback is 1.534 cents.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Ms. Nunn? Okay. All right, thank you very much. So hearing all that and having the research done that we have, may I have a motion and a second to the Board of Education for the Parkway School District for our 2026 tax rate calculation revolve to reverse their voluntary rollback on the operating levy for the Parkway School District. This includes any and all voluntary rollbacks from the residential, commercial, personal property, and or the agricultural tax levies. This change will allow for flexibility in our use of funds and to otherwise meet our operating revenue goals.
So moved.
I didn't hear you. That's
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hopper,
Yes.
Mr. Kilper,
Yes.
Ms. Matt Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Schindler.
Yes.
Mr. Seltzer.
yes.
Mr. Spector.
Yes.
Mr. Todd.
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Next, there's not much of a next. We have no policy review, we have no reports tonight, we have no work session, and no special meetings. So may I have a motion and a second to adjourn the regular meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you all for attending.